There are people who believe and even say you have to be born with an innate ability to be able to taste wine. I remember the first time I saw Hall of Fame running back Chuck Foreman walk onto the sidelines of the Orange Bowl in the 1970s. I said, that guy is going to be playing the pros in 3 or 4 years. And he did. In both football and wine tasting, there are some people with an uncanny natural ability to perform like no one else. You have Hall of Famers and master sommeliers that are heads and shoulders above the rest of us. The reality is there are thousands of us with dedication, determination, and discipline who will be in the Pro Bowl one day. In this video, we're going to learn the 5 different components of wine and how to identify them when you're tasting wine. We're going to be looking at alcohol, acid or acidity, tannins, fruitiness, and sweetness versus dryness. Plus, there'll be a little bonus at the end. Keep in mind, at any time, if you like what you hear, click like or make a comment below. The first thing we want to look at is alcohol. All table wines contain alcohol ranging anywhere from 5% to 17%. Actually, when yeast comes in contact with or gobbles up the natural sugars in grape pulp, you end up with alcohol and carbon dioxide. You see here, yeast plus sugar equals alcohol plus carbon dioxide. Now, generally speaking, the riper the grape is, the more natural sugar it will contain and the higher the alcohol content your wine will have. The body of your wine comes from alcohol, tannins, and the oak barrel. Now, alcohol is the prime component that creates the body. It also affects the texture of the wine. Let me show you something we're a little bit more familiar with. I'm going to compare milk and wine. Skim milk would be like a light-bodied wine, whole milk like a medium-bodied wine, and cream would be a full-bodied wine. Their weight, their heaviness or lightness, plus texture are all different. When you see 10% alcohol on the bottle, it would be a light body. 16% alcohol would be a full-bodied wine. High alcohol wines are full, round, supple, almost thick and chewy. Low alcohol wines are so light they're almost sheer. Alcohol also affects the aromas and flavors. An out of balance, high alcohol wine has a hot smell. You can feel a slight burning sensation far up in your nose. Alcohol flavor is sweet, so high alcohol allows wine to support a high acidity and still taste balanced. High alcohol wine without a good measure of acidity tastes dull and flaccid, sort of like weak coffee. Now, the second component is acid or acidity. Acid is the most important element in the grape pulp other than water and sugar. All wine is acidic, with white wines typically more acidic than reds. When the grape is young, firm, and still green on the vine, it has high acidity or a high acid level. As the grape ripens, its sugar content increases and its acid content decreases. Acid causes the mouth to water and prepares your mouth for food. It makes the wine thirst quenching. Wine that's too acidic tastes mean and biting, even sour, but without a sufficient amount of acidity, a dry wine seems dull and flat. A sweet wine that doesn't have enough acidity tastes flabby. The number 3 component we'll look at is tannins. This is the component everybody talks about. Tannins belong to a class of compounds called phenols. They come from the skins and seeds of the grapes. It can add to the wine's greatness or augment its inferiority. Tannin is the wine's structure and backbone. In excess, they can make our mouth feel as if it's drying out and you want to pucker. An appropriate amount of tannin helps create a world-class, well-balanced wine that can lay down for years. Now, a lot of people talk about how they get headaches from tannins. Scientifically, probably not. Actually, that's a myth and one of my videos for another day. Tannin in tea is related to tannin in wine. Like with tea and coffee, the way to minimize tannin is not with sugar, but with dairy. cream or milk with coffee and tea. Cheese softens tannins in wine. That's one reason why wine and cheese are such a good combination for wine tastings. How are you doing there? Is this information making sense? If it is, write Asti in the comments below. Okay, the fourth component is fruitiness. Fruitiness is when wine displays fruit-like aromas and flavors. Each grape varietal has a signature flavor, along with a myriad of other fruits and aromas and flavors. As an example, Sauvignon Blanc's signature fruitiness is citrus, especially grapefruit, while Cabernet Sauvignon's signature is dark fruits like plum, black cherry, and blackberry. Distinctive fruitiness is most obvious in young wines and evolves, rarely found in mature wines. The fifth component is sweetness and dryness. Sweetness in wine is often confused with fruitiness. The two terms are sometimes incorrectly used interchangeably. They mean entirely different things. Now with wine, the opposite of sweet is dry. Sweetness and dryness refers to the amount of sugar content in the grape. If all or virtually all of the sugar in the ripe grapes is converted to alcohol, the wine is considered dry. If only some of the sugar is converted to alcohol, then the wine is considered to have residual sugar, or RS. This is the leftover sugar which the yeast did not chew up or ferment. So a dry wine is one that has minimal sugar, or RS. A sweet wine has more RS. The key to putting the 5 components together is dedication, determination, and discipline. And before you know it, you'll be tasting like a pro. That's what'll get you into the Pro Bowl one day. Keep drinking wine, my friends. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know about how to taste wine and the components. Well, almost. Hang in there. There's a quick added bonus at the end. But first, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. And if it was, make sure you subscribe. Click like and ring the little bell to be notified when I post other videos. And let me know if you have comments below. And if there's someone you know that's interested in wine, make sure you share this video with them. I'd really appreciate that. I think they would too. Alright, are you ready for the added bonus? Most all wines are vinified or are made dry, but there are different degrees of residual sugar in wines. When you're looking at a bottle of wine, somewhere on it, sometimes on the front, most of the time on the back, it will tell you about the sweetness or dryness. If it doesn't say anything about the sweetness or residual sugar, it's dry. Here's the different degrees of sweetness that you could see on the bottle. First, you have dry. This is the designation for wines with no detectable sweetness. This is what most wines are. Then comes off dry, then medium dry. You're tasting some noticeable sweetness right here. Then medium sweet, and finally sweet. I hope that was helpful. Next time you're shopping for wine, use that information to your advantage and let me know how it turns out. Folks, again, thanks for joining me. I'm here to help and serve you as we learn more about wine together. If you're looking for some wonderful wines, check out my website below. And don't forget to enter your discount code ASTIWINES at checkout. Again, the discount code is ASTIWINES. I look forward to you joining me on social media and on my website. All those links are in the description below. Until next time. Cheers.